I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it. We're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build Cryptozoo, and I'll see you in court.
The more he says, and the more he continues to spread this misinformation that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing.
Logan Paul. The man will go down in history as one of the biggest flogs in social media history. And as someone who knows a bit about being sued by far bigger creators in ridiculous, frivolous lawsuits, I strongly believe his lawsuit against Coffeezilla is an embarrassing disgrace. And now, Logan's text messages that have been revealed by Coffeezilla in Discovery only reinforce what a joke this lawsuit is. Before we get into all that, the production of this content is made possible by all of our supporters. To support the growth of the channel as well as subscribing, you can join as a member or buy Gadget or coffee. I'll leave the links in the description. Okay, as for the Coffeezilla and Logan Paul saga, it all started in December of 2022 with Coffeezilla's 3-part expose video series about Logan Paul's Cryptozoo, a blockchain-based game/NFT project that Logan promised and never delivered on.
Cryptozoo.co. I am so excited about this project. It's so fun. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
A fun game that earns you money? How much did you guys make from Cryptozoo?
I lost around $50,000 in Cryptozoo.
I lost $40,000.
And I lost around $15,000 US.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
$500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in Cryptozoo.
Shut up! No, you haven't!
Yeah, 500K.
Oh, no.
It's fair to say that Logan did not take this scrutiny well. He uploaded what is now known as one of the worst response videos in social media history, which he deleted in disgrace shortly after. Amongst Logan's hysterical whining, which we saw in this response video, he gave the first indication that he may sue Coffeezilla.
I got everything stolen from me in our community, stopped promoting publicly as soon as I knew the extent of the internal issues, took all of the heat on social, and you still published a defamatory hit piece fully knowing I was innocent just so you could enrich yourself in your $10 million studio. Sharp, but deeply unethical, dangerously misleading, and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it. And honestly, it sucks that after years of personal reform, going through trials and tribulations, and busting my ass to evolve into a person that I can say I'm actually proud of, you led the charge to drive and monetize a narrative telling millions of people that I'm a fraud or I tried to scam my audience. That is patently false. And lastly, Coffeezilla, I now know your motives with this. Clout and money, good for you, but also you're slimy as f. So I'm not gonna come on any of your podcasts. If you wanna come on Impulsive and talk about this, that's fine. You've denied my invitation multiple times. You're still invited. It can be a one-on-one. If not, we're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build Cryptozoo, and I'll see you in court.
Logan repeated this sentiment on the next episode of his podcast, Impulsive, saying that if Coffeezilla continues to call Cryptozoo a scam, he will be filing a lawsuit.
He's probably gonna put people who have lost here on a pillar and highlight them. That's what I would do if I were him. I'd milk the shit out of this, and like I said, he's probably going to. He's good. He's very good. But part 6 is the more he says, and the more he continues to spread this misinformation that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing.
The public opinion on this was absolutely clear. Logan Paul looked like a giant douche. His response to the backlash was absolutely incredible, knowing what we now know was to come. He uploaded this video with the title, "Thank You Coffeezilla," which he used to apologize to Coffeezilla and all the people he allegedly scammed with Cryptozoo.
Coffeezilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego, flair, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in. But the fact is that suing Coffeezilla is not going to help Cryptozoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me. You guys mean the world to me, so I'd like to announce my 3-step plan moving forward. Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game, and it will add value to holder tokens. Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed in the status of the game. So essentially you're gonna be able to burn your base egg or your base animal for the mint price, which was 0.1 ETH or the equivalent in BNB. I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out. And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper by completing the egg bridge from ETH to BSC for base animals and base eggs, completing the marketplace, and obviously completing the releasing your animals into the wild to accrue your yield function. I know this video is long overdue. Here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for how this has unfolded thus far, and I want people to know that they can trust me and that I'll always take care of the fans and people who support me. And lastly, thank you, Coffeezilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation, and I mean that. Thank you, bro.
Of course, we now know for sure that this video from Logan was entirely performative. He obviously recorded it only because he thought this would undo some of the damage this scandal caused to his reputation, and he thought that Coffeezilla would be satisfied and cease covering this story. Of course, that is not what happened. Coffeezilla continued to follow this to make sure that Logan was a man of his word. And not only did Logan never deliver on his promise of finishing the game, Coffeezilla found that the reimbursements that Logan promised would only cover some of the victims that lost money. In January of 2023, attorney Tom, who is a prominent lawyer on YouTube, announced that his firm was filing a class action lawsuit against Logan Paul and a number of other defendants on behalf of the Cryptozoo victims.
After weeks of investigation and speaking to a significant number of Cryptozoo victims, we've taken legal action against Cryptozoo Incorporated, Logan Paul, Daniel Strobel, Jeff Levin, Eddie Ibanez, and Jake Greenbaum, alleging fraud, express breach of contract, implied breach of contract, unjust enrichment, violation of Delaware's prohibited trade practices, negligence, fraudulent misrepresentation, and conspiracy to commit fraud.
Of course, if you lost money on Cryptozoo, I'd urge you to contact attorney Tom. I would also urge everyone to subscribe to his YouTube channel to support him, as this case is very important, not only to help the victims recover the money they lost, but to set precedents in holding people who use their large social media platforms to scam the public to account. In August of 2024, Logan Paul confirmed to all of us that he was even more of a liar than we even thought. He filed a lawsuit against Coffeezilla for defamation. And now in 2025, as the case has moved forward, as the judge denied Coffeezilla's request to dismiss the claims, the discovery process has revealed some insane new developments. For this section, I need to shout out this video by Legal Byte, which was a great resource. I'll leave a link in the description for anyone who wants to watch an actual lawyer analyze this. The first thing that I learned from Legal Byte's video, which I was not aware of, is that Logan Paul's lawsuit is not about Coffeezilla's 3-part YouTube series about Cryptozoo. The reason being that the 12-month statute of limitations had well expired by August 2024. Instead, the lawsuit cites a number of statements that Coffeezilla made that just barely fell into the limitation period. The first one being a tweet where he said Logan Paul really is the type of dude to thank you when you expose his scam, then block you when you remind him to pay up. The second was a video titled Logan Paul's Scam Isn't Over, when Coffeezilla followed up on Logan's promises to reimburse the Cryptozoo victims, and the third was a video titled Logan Paul's Refund, which was released in June 2023, in which Coffeezilla outlined that at that time, 6 months later, Logan had still not followed through on his promises. The lawsuit claims that Coffeezilla continued to perpetuate the false claims that Paul is a scammer, blissfully ignoring the many times that Logan said he's not a scammer and is actually a great guy. Coffeezilla's response is that he's using truth as an absolute defense, that the statements in all aspects were literally and substantially true. But the incredible recent development is Logan Paul's text messages that Coffeezilla uncovered in Discovery, which have now been made public. Here we can see Logan text to a friend, lawyering up, suing this motherfucker into the ground. The friend responds with, "Then everything will come out, court docs will be public." Logan says, "So then everyone will see what happened for better or for worse." Logan even texted his friend that he was suing Coffeezilla just to make his life difficult, that Zilla will pay one way or another, I'll make sure of it. Paul texted, "I want people who have wronged me to suffer, while I continue getting wins on their grave." Logan's friend texted, "Public humiliation is always more effective." Logan responded with, "Totally agree." One friend texted Logan, "Bro, you're a billionaire." Logan's response, "A petty billionaire." Make no mistake about it, these text messages are disastrous for Logan. Not only do they make him look like the biggest flog in the universe, but they are going to be incredibly unhelpful in convincing a jury that this is a legitimate defamation claim, if of course it ever gets that far. Another development that Legal Byte's video showed us that I found very interesting is that in Discovery, Logan requested to obtain the communications between Coffeezilla and Attorney Tom. This had been revealed in a filing in Attorney Tom's class action lawsuit against Logan, where Logan admitted that he intended to do this. The judge initially granted this request, but Coffeezilla's lawyers successfully appealed this, citing that their communications were privileged because Attorney Tom had hired Coffeezilla as an expert consultant because of his extensive research into the Cryptozoo case. The latest development in this lawsuit is that Coffeezilla is requesting to move it to Austin because it contains much of the same evidence and victims, so it would make sense to conjoin them. And I think it's fair to say that if Logan was to lose the class action lawsuit against Attorney Tom, his defamation lawsuit against Coffeezilla would end up in the toilet where I think it belongs. To finish, if I haven't made my thoughts clear enough throughout this video, Logan Paul is an utter disgrace. Exploiting your audience in the way he has continuously done is not okay. Especially considering that criminal prosecutions for such alleged fraud is looking increasingly unlikely in the US, I fully support those who conduct widespread scams on social media being financially held accountable with civil lawsuits and class actions. If anyone watching this happens to have lost money in Cryptozoo, I'll leave a link in the description where you can contact Attorney Tom to be a part of the lawsuit. And a reminder that I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description for those who want to support his work by those means. As for Coffeezilla, I can't imagine many people watch my channel that don't subscribe to his, but anyone that doesn't, I'd urge you to, and consider supporting him on Patreon. His work has become more important than ever. In a world where crypto scams and the like are so prevalent, and accountability for such scams is so rare, public awareness is so important. When an influencer or celebrity has been confirmed to have used their online audience to scam the public, we absolutely have to put them on blast.